Hello and welcome to the Gough Guitar Guide, episode number 5. Today we're going to be talking about power chords, or sometimes alternatively they are called 5 chords. So, a 5 chord is made up of the root note and the fifth. If you remember from episode 4, where we discussed making C major, from the C major scale, we use the first, the third and the fifth to create our triad, which becomes a C major chord. Now, when you're playing a power chord, we're only going to use the first and the fifth. So, in the case of C, that would be C and G. Okay, so the beginner's way of playing a power chord is like this. You find C, if you want to play a C power chord, and we will start there, which we know we can play at the 3rd fret on the A string, and you add the 5th. You can do this with the ring finger or the little finger, and the 5th is the note 2 frets up on the next string. There's G, so C and G. Then we have a power chord, 5 chord. We can also do the same thing at C at the 8th fret on the E string, and notice that the relationship of the fingers is exactly the same as it was here. Okay, so this brings us on to why power chords are so useful, is that we can move them around easily without having to play full bar chords. So, for instance, we could do something like this. And all I'm doing is taking out one shape and moving it to different frets. What I've done is I played a C5, B flat 5, A flat 5, G5, back to C5. Okay, so I remember when I first learned power chords, and I was taught to play them like this with the root and the fifth, these 2 notes, thinking why they call power chords when they don't sound very powerful. A lot of it is to do with the right hand technique and how hard you pick the strings. Okay, but there are a couple of things, tricks we can use to make our power chords sound bigger and more powerful. First of all, what we're going to do is we're going to add, so we have the root note here, we have the 5th note here, this is the G, and what we're going to do is we're going to use the pinky now to play an octave higher of the original root note. We're going to have 3 strings. Okay, that's kind of pretty fun. Okay, we can obviously do the same thing when we take our root note from the E string. So there's a G, 3 power chords, and being very careful not to step on anyone's copyright toes, you could play a riff like this, for instance. Okay, and it's starting to sound more powerful, and we like that. That is good. Okay, so one more tip as well. If we are taking the root note of our power chord from the A string, so for instance this C we started with here, we've gone C, G, and then another C, we can actually do here, and this is a good one for sort of intermediate guitarists certainly, is to take this first finger and play across, in this instance, the 3rd fret on both the A and the E strings. So what I've got now is I've got G, C, G, C. So it's still a C power chord, but I have G in the bass note, and it does sound a bit more powerful again. This is similar to the riff that I was playing at the beginning. Okay, so another reason why playing a power chord like this with the octave below the 5th is it's easier. It's easier to control, not hitting the wrong string. So for instance, if I was to hit the open E string while I'm moving power chords around, it does not sound very nice. However, I'm always playing the E string in direct relation to the power chord that I'm playing. It sounds good, it sounds more powerful, fantastic. Okay, so here's another tip we can do for power chords. remembering back to episode 2 when we talked about how to tune your guitar, we talked about going into drop D tuning like this. So I play the D string, I play the E string, and drop the E string down to a D, so it's in tune. Now, what I have here is D, A, D. That is a root, fifth, root, and now I can play a power chord with just one finger. Okay, so if we want to take our power chords in drop D tuning one step further, what we can do is we can play a power chord like this. So I have root, fifth, root. I can then add another fifth here, and then another root here. So now I have a lot of strings which are involved in my power chord, and I like that. It's good. Okay, so power chords are really useful because you don't have to worry too much about whether you're playing a major or a minor chord. Okay, so one more thing to mention about power chords, which is pretty fun, is what we can actually do is tune the whole guitar to a power chord. Right, so we have D, A, D already. We have this lovely fun power chord. It's quite easy to do. What we're going to do is tune every string into that power chord, right? So next string is G. What we're going to do is tune that to A. Okay, the next string is B. What you're going to do is tune that down to A. So it does actually does actually give us two strings exactly the same, but that's okay. And then we can take the top E string and drop that down to D as well. So now, okay, this is particularly useful if you would like to play slide guitar, and again. Right, wanting to tread on anyone's copyright toes, you might want to do something like this. So that's only two notes there in this open tuning, D and A. Okay, I hope that has been interesting for you, and it's maybe insightful, something to take away from it and apply to your own playing. If you've got any questions, please leave them in the comments below. Obviously, subscribe to the channel if you've liked this, because it will help the channel out. And if you're interested in taking private lessons, please get in contact via my website at robguitar.co.uk. Alright, thanks for watching. Happy strumming. Bye bye.